Waterton Lakes National Park is one of those special places. You know what I'm talking about. A place that feels both wild and rugged, while also peaceful and serene. A place where you can take a leisurely stroll around a lake, frolic in the stream at the bottom of a canyon, or hike to a raging waterfall. Waterton Lakes is varied and beautiful and has long been one of our favorite national parks. But since our last visit to this amazing place, things have changed, and on this visit it has a very different story to tell. Come along with us to explore this place and hear the story it has to share with us all.
We have made it to our fourth stop in the Canadian Rockies.
Yeah, today we're in Waterton Lakes National Park, which is kind of the sister park to Glacier National Park in Montana, but we're on the Canadian side. It's called Waterton.
Right, we've been here before, but we are excited to see some of the sites that we've already seen and then maybe to explore some new stuff.
Yeah, today we're going to go head out the Akamina Parkway and see what kind of adventure we can find.
That's right, let's go.
Our last visit to this area was in May of 2017. Just a few short months later in August, the Kenau fire started just outside the park after an intense lightning storm. Due to hot, dry conditions and high winds, the fire swept through the park on September 11th and devastated the landscape. When all was said and done, over 25,000 acres or 39% of the park burned, decimating the visitor center, one of the park's popular campgrounds, more about that later, a stable, some staff housing, and the water and electrical systems associated with each. On this visit, we are shocked to see the difference in the park. There are very few places we look that we don't see evidence of this devastating fire.
We're walking beside Cameron Lake, and you can see this area of much of Waterton Lakes National Park had a huge fire about, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, so a lot of it's burned.
The mountain that way at the end of Cameron Lake is Mount Custer, and it is actually in Montana. So we are very, very close to the international border. We're hiking to Akamina Lake, which is left from the same parking lot as the hike we just took to Cameron Lake. It's a really short hike, but that is one loud tree. While we look at the burned areas and see devastation and destruction, it is important to understand that wildfires are a natural and beneficial part of the ecosystem. For example, the lack of forest canopy means that smaller ground cover type plants can now thrive in the area, and we can only imagine what the wildflower show was like in the spring. Since the beginning of time, the land has adapted and changed in response to all sorts of natural forces, and this is just one way we are able to see that in person. Today's adventure is the Red Rock Parkway in Waterton Lakes. The Red Rock Parkway is an 8.7-mile road that winds through the Blackiston Valley and ends at the Red Rock Canyon parking area. Every time we have ever driven this road in the past, it was teeming with wildlife. The most bears we have ever seen on one drive was along this road a few years ago, but on this day we see nothing. It could be the time of day or that it is unusually hot and sunny for this time of year, but we can't help but wonder if it could be because the lack of forest cover has pushed the animals further off the road.
So we're here at the end of the Red Rock Parkway, and we're going to go check out Red Rock Canyon.
The fire burned through here about 6 years ago. So you can see, this is what a forest looks like about 6 years after a fire. The tree is chest high. Before we get to Red Rock Canyon, we're gonna go check out Blackiston Falls. And let me just tell you, this weather is crazy. It's wonderful. It's beautiful, the sun's out, the temperatures are great. I think the high today is supposed to be 76.
Here is a great view of Blackiston Falls with one of the new walkways and viewing platforms that was built to replace those damaged by the fire.
These are some of the nicest platforms, railings, and stairs we've seen. I mean, look at this place. It's all done. It's stainless steel tubing for handrails. The fencing is all stainless wire mesh. And the posts, they're beautiful. Powder coated, laser cut. Nice job, Parks Canada.
Red Rock Canyon is made of argillite, which is rich in iron, lending the red coloring to the rock. No, we didn't amp up the colors here. The rock really is that red. This is a great place to play in Red Rock Creek, which runs along the bottom. Or you might choose to hike the short trail that loops around the edge, offering great views down. You can see which option we chose.
When we were here in 2017, we stayed in Crandall Mountain Campground, and it was one of our favorite campgrounds ever. But then they had the fire shortly after we left, and it completely burned. It's been closed ever since, so we thought we would just stop in and see what it looks like now. We love this campground because there are mountains on both sides, as you can see. There's a hiking trail that leads right from here to Crandall Lake, which was gorgeous. And we saw a bear here when we were here, so it was just kind of a magical place for us. We loved it. We were really hoping that they had plans to rebuild this campground because it was so gorgeous. But you can see right there, that's an old campground loop road, and it's Mother Nature's taking it over again. The weeds are growing up. They haven't done anything. You can't see any signs at all of anything that was here before. There are no foundations for the bathrooms or anything left. So this is really the only evidence we see of any kind of rebuilding. It's a brand new pit toilet, and then over here there's some fresh gravel. It looks like it's going to be a trailhead for the Crandall Lake Trail, definitely not a new campground. There's a really nice path through here now. The new pit toilet looks great, but it's a little bit sad because we were really hoping they were going to rebuild the campground, and it doesn't look like they're going to. Look at this rock. What would make something like that? A pattern like that? And here's a weird plant. There's all kinds of interesting things to look at around here. If anybody has any ideas about these plants or the rocks or any of that interesting stuff, leave it in the comments. We'd love to know.
Today's October 10th, and we're about to roll out of here at Townsite Campground. And if you look around, everyone is gone.
We're leaving Waterton Lakes National Park, and it looks like we are some of the last to leave. Everything is boarded up, and they're closing it down. It was a really great time to be here, though. Crowds were light, weather was great.